For the People event started by simply planting a seed. I was walking down a swamp meet with my mom in Delano, California, and I've always wanted to make money. I've always wanted to just generate income. I was done being poor. Like, we grew poor. I didn't get to try Red Robins until I was like, if it wasn't for this lady who I used to go to church with, she took me to Red Robins. Like, I was eating rice and beans every freaking day with carne. Carne con chile, which is bomb. Don't get me wrong, I love my mom's cooking. But like, for me, like seeing everybody else going to McDonald's, going everywhere else, and like all these other restaurants, I was always like, man, like I'm tired of being poor. I'm tired of, not saying that eating rice and beans is being poor, but it's just kind of like, I wanted to go out. All of my clothes was from a yard sale because my mom was raising 5 kids. It was very, very hard. Her being an immigrant, not having a working permit was really, really tough on us. So when I was walking down that swamp, I seen a bunch of like booths, right? And I'm like, how much do they charge here? And she was like, oh, well, they charge $10 or $25 at that time. And I'm like, damn, if she has 50, he's probably ranking like what, $500 a day? $600 a day? And I was like, Mom, I want to do this. Mommy, I want to do this. I really want to do this. We actually went to the swap meet because my mom wanted to be a vendor herself. She had like a bunch of home decorations she wanted to get rid of. So I'm like, Mom, let's go to the swap meet to get some information for you to become a vendor. I go into the office and I see the owner with like a stack of money. And I was like, wow, I've never seen that much money in my life. I see it on TV and on videos and music videos, but never in real life. So I go in there and I'm like, oh my God, like I want to be him. I want to be boss too. So I get out of the office and I'm like, Lord, I said, God, please, Jesus, like I don't know what he's doing, but I want to do exactly what he's doing. And I told my mom, I want to do this. She's like, I don't even know how to do it. And I was like, I was thinking like, damn, like I need to buy a whole lot. And by that time I was only like 21 and I'm just like, this is gonna take long. Like the vision was there. I'm like, I want to do that. That vision was there, but it's like, this is impossible. 21-year-old, I was like, I wasn't in the best like state of mind either. And I was just young and reckless at that time. I don't know. I just prayed on it. That moment, years passed by. It wasn't until COVID happened. It was COVID, everybody stayed home, everybody was creating, everybody was selling things online. And then we had those stimulus checks. Remember those stimulus checks? Yup. I got those stimulus checks. I stacked those stimulus checks up and I was like, I called the venue in San Bernardino. Shout out to the Butterfly venue. If you know, you know. Those people that were there since the beginning know. I've come a long way, guys. If you know, you know. And I called them and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I told my boyfriend, like, I'm just gonna do it. At first, I'll put him on the spot. I don't care. This is a part of my story. He was just like, how are you even gonna do it? It seemed very impossible for him. It did. And for me, it seemed like it was that one feeling inside of you, like in your spirit and your soul and your heart, that was just like, go for it. Go for it. You got the money that can back you up. If it's a loss, you stacked up those stimulus checks. I'm gonna invest. I think I had like around $3,000. I had around $3,000 saved up from those stimulus checks, and I was just like, I'm just gonna do it. Like I got money to back me up. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, you know? So I did it. And I had like 20 vendors. It took me, guys, kid you not, it took me 6 months to gather 20 vendors. That was like a lot for me, and especially to gain trust. I created this page and I called it For the People. And you know what? One thing was that you would see these pop-up markets and these vendor markets only in LA. And the Inland Empire, you rarely seen this. It was rare, very rare. So I go on Instagram and I see another page and they were called For the People Market. They represent like Black-owned businesses. And I love the concept of it. I love that they were just like, this is what they represent, right? So I truly got inspired by them. Shout out to them. If you're watching this, shout out to you guys. You guys inspired me. You guys really did inspire the name. The name, it was just like, wow. It was so hard for people to trust me because I was a new page. And it was just kind of like, this is happening in the Inland Empire and it's COVID. I want to get out. People were just desperate to go out because everybody was locked in. Everybody was quarantined. And that's when I launched For the People events. I had 20 vendors. It was okay. A lot of my family and friends came. Shout out to Yesenia. Shout out to Alexis that pulled up. My family. Shout out to you guys. Honestly, that meant so much for me because it was my first time opening my business, opening For the People events. And there was some traffic. You know, I'm not going to say it was the best. I'm not. Then I did it again, and the traffic got slower. And then one more time there, and it was just dead. It was embarrassing. Why? Because I really wanted this to work. I really wanted people to make money. You know, when they say, oh, like I make these pop-up markets for community. Don't get me wrong. I love community because I love talking to people. And I love like catching a vibe with someone. When you meet me, it's like, you know, I'm gonna catch a vibe with you. Doesn't mean you're my friend though, but I'm gonna catch a vibe with you. You know, we're gonna have that connection because that's what I am. That's what I love to do. I love to hang out and just meet new people. So when I say for the people events, it's not about like, oh, like building a community. Of course, it's all about community, but it's more about my goal is bringing opportunities to vendors to generate income and high foot traffic locations. And this is why I worked with malls. So going back to the third time I started to see that it was really dead, I hit up downtown Riverside. I hit up the Live Art Center and they let me host there. Then I started to see that, oh, it wasn't like, it was okay. It was okay. It was better than San Bernardino. It was beautiful. The venue was amazing. I started doing like spooky events, and I want to also give a big shout out to my friend Lemon. Like, she held it down for the people. She held it down. I was pregnant, guys. I was pregnant. And I was like doing all of this, like while being pregnant with my son. I was very intimidated, cameras and just talking about the brand. And someone in San Bernardino wanted to talk to me, talk about what's happening in the San Bernardino community, because they ended up finding out that I was doing this. And I hit up my homegirl Lemon. I was like, Lemon, you have to show, because my friend Lemon, she's professional. She's a smart woman. Like, she can hold it down. So that happened. So I went to the Life Arts Center, and Lemon was actually helping me there at that location. And it wasn't good. It was still like, it wasn't good enough for what I wanted my vendors. Because there's markets where you just go and then like, they still continue being at the same location, knowing damn well that their vendors are not making money. Like, I don't know how you guys can do that, but I could. Like, I want people to make money, you know? That's what this page is about. You go on my page, you're gonna make money. And if you don't, at least I know that I set you guys in a location where I know there's foot traffic. You're gonna have foot traffic regardless. If you guys notice on my page, I record my event. My feed isn't all about like vendor products. No, you're gonna see my event, my work. I hit up the mall. Let's go back to the whole story. I hit up the mall, right? And I hit up Galleria Tyler. And Galleria Tyler's like, send me some pictures of your event. Send them some pictures. Kid you not, it looked like there's nothing wrong with Swamis. I love Swamis. You know, this is the reason why I want to do all this, because I walked down a Swami. But they said, you could have it, but all the canopy must be white. You have to have a uniform market. We don't want to bring a swamp meet vibe into the mall. And I get it. Like, it's a mall. Like, they want everything to look nice and cohesive and uniform. That's why I do only white canopies. For those who always ask, like, why white canopies? Can I bring a blue one after it's mentioned on the application only white? Like, no, it's not my rules. Otherwise, I would have been like, yeah, bring it. I don't care. If it's branded, you invest some money on it. Like, go ahead. But no. I can't do that. It's mall rules. Yeah, so I did Galleria Tyler, and Galleria Tyler was the one that opened doors to Northridge and Temecula Mall. Shout out to Katie. Shout out to the Galleria team, Katie and her team, and Temecula, all of them. Like, shout out to you guys, because if it wasn't for you guys working with me, trusting me that I can execute, it wouldn't have happened. So shout out to the mall for giving me an opportunity.